when done with your setting of your story level, just go down to the ground level, click on it, click OK, then you have your story level set. Now the next thing to do is to set your wall. You have your wall here, you have to set your wall, and to set the wall, the structure of your wall, you just go to this area, material, building material, click on building material. Now why we have to set it is because when you cut a profile of your wall, what you want to see in the section, you have to set it. So to do that, we move down, we scroll down and check on, we can see measuring block filler. We click on this measuring block filler. When you click on this measuring block filler, you can create a new structure that you want for yourself. Okay, like here, I want to create my own structure. I'll just click on this new. When I click on this new, I will just say it just type my block structure. That's my block structure. I'll click on it. Okay. Then what I have to do is I have to change this cut fill foreground. I have to change it because if I leave it like this, it means that the hash that you see within the wall will bear this color. I have to change it to like this black. Change it to black. And if I like, I will change the material. This material is when you cut a section of the wall, what you see in the section of the wall. If I want that, I could just say let it be general, leave it general, and click OK. I've set my wall structure. Then the next thing I have to do is I have to prepare a sketch of the building I want to design with simple line. I have to do that with line. First I have to set my line to this red color. Now let's look at the existing design that we have. Now at this existing design we are at the DPC level. You can see at the DPC level, you see what we have there. If we go down a bit at the ground level, go down at the ground level, you can see the dimensions that we have here. You can see before I did this design, I had to prepare a sketch of it here with line, and then I have to paste that line sketch on this before drawing. Now each time I have to, when you want to prepare a sketch of the line you want to do it with single line, and the single line will have to represent the center of your wall. It has to represent the center of your wall. So if we go by that method, let's go to our own new drawing board. You can see here we have 4, 5, 1, 350, 1, 350, 3, 750. I'm going to draw a wall. I'm going to draw a simple line straight in my own drawing board. Look at what I'm going to do. I already have the sketch here. See the sketch here. I have a sketch of it here, but I'm going to show you how I do that. So if you take my line, cross another line over 3. Then in this our existing drawing here, we have 4, 5, 1, 350, 1, 350, 3, 750. I'm going to space the line that way. Then I have 4, 5. Let's check back again and see what we have there. 4, 5, 1, 350, 1, 350, 3, 750. Okay. 4, 5. Space it. 4, 5. 4, 5, 0, 0. Okay. Space there again. 1, 350. Another 1, 350. And then 3, 750. 3, 750. Now that is done. I have achieved this. Okay. Now that is done. Let's check at the drawing again. We have another subdivision inside there, like from here 350. Check here, we have from here to here 3, 150 and 1, 350. So I'm going to do that for the subdivision inside. So in that case, I'm going to do my 3, 150. 3, 150. You can see what I have. That's done. Then let's go back to the drawing here. You can see what we have from here to here is 1, 350, 2, 4 and 5, 4. 1, 350, 2, 4, 5, 4. Let's go and get it done. 1, 350, 2, 4, 0.54. Now, having prepared the sketch of the bungalow that we want to design, the next thing we do is we choose, we set the materials that we are going to use for our building here. That has to do with our block structure. Now, in this block structure, we move down, and I think we have a structure here that is called our meshing block filler. Yes, meshing block filler. We click on this meshing block filler, click on it, then choose new. In this new, we can simply type our own structure, the structure we want to achieve. So simply type my block filler. That's okay. Just click OK. Then the next thing I do is I have to change this cut fill foreground pen. I have to change the color of the pen to black, otherwise it will appear that way. Then the next thing I have to do is brick. These are brick where it has to do with material, the surface. That is when you cut a section of the wall in 3D. What you see in the 3D, the section of it in 3D, will have to carry red brick surface, but I don't want it to appear that way. I want to give it, I want to change it to general. Yes. I look like general. I'll click on it and then say OK. Then that, as it is done, the next thing I have to do is I have to set my wall. I have to go to my wall setting here. I have to change my wall setting to basic, normal basic, guys. Then normal basic, normal one I have. Then the next thing I have to do is the thickness of the wall. I'm using a 6-inch wall. I have to change it to 6 inches. That is 150 mm. Then when I've done that, then I'll go to reference line. In this reference line, most times, from observations that I've made so far, with designers or students of architecture usually leave their reference line at the outer face, and it always causes a problem. Especially there are some complex works that you might want to, complex operation you might want to carry out on a wall. You have problems. You start having nasty problem coming up. Why? Because the walls are not properly set. Now, whenever reference line has to also deal with the grid lines that you put in the wall. Now, if you are dealing on grid line, normally grid line of every wall is placed in the middle of the wall, in the center of the wall. And because the grid line has to pass through the center of the wall, it is necessary that when you design a house, you put you position the reference line of the wall in the center and not the inside surface, not the outside surface. Now you position it in the center. When you position it in the center, that's okay. Then the height of the wall is dependent at which level and what kind of construction are you executing that moment. I will come back to that later. Now, if you look at the level we are at the ground level. At the ground level. Now, at the ground level, we are trying to raise up our block wall from the foundation depth to some height above the ground level before we now cast our DB. But in design, we assume that the depth, the foundation depth, is not considered. We don't consider the foundation depth. What we consider in our design is we consider the height from the ground, the ground level, to the DPC height. Now, if we check in our story level setting here, you observe that our story level gives us that from the ground level to DPC level is 600. Now, because you have to cast an overside concrete of 6 inches, that means the block work will end at 450 height. Then you top it with overside concrete of 150 to achieve your 600. That has been understood. So what we are going to do is the foundation wall right round these areas will have to rise to a level of 450. Then stop. Then when we cap our overside concrete of 150 mm on top of it, we attain that 600 height that we want to achieve. Now, in this design, we have the corridor here. This area is the corridor, and here is the front corridor. This is the kitchen corridor. Now, these corridors will not be at the same height level with the rest of the room. The corridor will step down 6 inches from the room level. The corridor here will also step down. Now, because it's going to step down 6 inches, which is 150 mm, it means that the block work at the corridor level will be at 300 will rise up to 300. It will not rise up to 450. Rise up to 300. That is for this corridor here, this external wall here, this external wall here. They will rise to 300 and stop. So that by the time you top on top of it with a 150 overside concrete, you have 4. Now when you top these areas that are 450 at 450 level, when you top them with a 150 concrete overside concrete, they will rise to 600. Then there will be that height difference from the rest of the room to the corridor. That is 150 height difference. In that case, let's go back to our wall setting. In this wall setting, we are going to leave it at 450. This has to do with the wall area, so we leave it at 450. Then we go and change the model. In this model, we have to choose. This shows our outside surface, outside face surface. Then this is edge surface. I have to give it paint golden beige. Also the edge surface, I have to paint it paint golden beige. Then the inside, this has to do with the inside surface. I have to paint it with sand beige. Now, having done that, one other thing that I have to check is the wall structure. The wall structure, I have to check here again. Okay, it's the center. Then the next thing I have to check, something that is very important, we have to check it. Yes, the structure of the wall, we have to check. For that structure that I created, I have to check that structure I created. I call it my block filler. You can see it here, my block filler. I have to click it. That's the one I'm going to make use of. This is my block filler. When that is done, I'll click OK. As you can see, now there is something I want you to understand in designing. In architecture, if you are using manual drafting, when you want to draft manually, you are taught that it is wrong to draw line. It is wrong to draw line this way. It's wrong to draw line from right to left. It is wrong. In manual architecture, when you want to draw line, you have to draw line from ground to up. From up, if you are drawing vertically like this way, you draw from here and move up. Draw this way and move up. You don't draw from up down. You draw from down up. That's the secret. Now, in this drafting, what will help you to understand what is the outside and the inside of the wall is the direction of the movement of your cursor. The movement of your cursor, the direction your cursor takes. The right part of the cursor becomes the outer face, and the left part of the cursor becomes the inner face. For instance, now let me show you an example with this single line. Now I want to draw this line. I'm drawing this line from up, down. Now as I'm moving this line from up, down, what it means is that this area is the right, here becomes the right, here becomes the right of the design. Because I do this line from up, down, here becomes right. Here becomes our right. And here becomes our left. Now the left part becomes the inside face of the wall, while the right part becomes the outside face of the wall. Take note. Now watch out what also will also help you. Now we have to go back to our wall. Now watch how I move my drawing. I'll just click on the center and move this way. Let me stop. Let's pause and observe something. Now look at this wall. Let's go back to view. Click on your view. Move to on-screen view option. Click on this wall and reference bin. Click on it and see something. If you look closely, you observe in the middle of the wall there is something that appears like arrow. You can see it here. This arrow is pointing down, showing you the direction of flow of your cursor when you are drawing the wall. You can see as it's moving. You can see the arrow here again. The arrow as it's moving. Now this arrow helps you to understand. It helps you to identify where is the inside, the area that is the side that is the inside of the wall and the side that is the outside of the wall. Like according to this arrow, this area becomes your right. According to this arrow, here becomes your left, here becomes your right. In that case, it is necessary you take note of these things. Here is our right, and here is our left. Now this left area becomes the inside of the wall, and this right area becomes the right of the wall. Now let's take it in 3D and see. Watch out in our 3D. You see it? In our 3D, you can see the outside. You can see the outside. Let's highlight and see. You can see the outside. If you check in the model we did here, you can see paint golden. That is the color of the outside. The color of the edge, which is the top here, you can see what we have there is also paint golden. Then let's look at the inside. The inside is a sand beige. Okay, as you can see the inside, you can see the color is sand beige. So in essence, the direction of your cursor determines the face of the wall that will be inside and the face of the wall that will be outside. Take note, the right part of your cursor, the right part of the direction of your cursor is the outside surface of the wall, and the left part of your cursor is the inside surface of the wall. It is also necessary to go to this on-screen view option and click on it to show you the direction of the arrow. As you can see, you have direction of the arrow. Now the direction of this arrow shows us that the right part of the arrow is our outside, the left part of the arrow is the inside. It is also necessary, whichever way you want to draw your wall. If you decide to draw it like we do this way, assuming I decide to draw my wall this way. If I draw my wall this way, let's delete these ones that we've just done. Good. Let's delete this one. Now watch out. I want to draw this wall moving this way. I want to move from here or go this way. Watch the direction of my arrow. Move this way. Let's stop here. Now from the look of things, you can see the arrow is moving clockwise. The arrow is moving clockwise. Now this arrow is moving clockwise shows that the right part of the arrow, remember, the right part of the arrow remains the outside surface, and the left part of the arrow is our inside surface. Let's check and see if it is true from our 3D. You see what happens here? You see what happened? You see? Because we moved clockwise, the inside wall, these are paint sand beige that's supposed to be inside is now outside, which is wrong. Which is wrong. You see, whenever you set your wall for the outside, once you set your outer paint and set your inside paint, it is necessary you move anti-clockwise, not clockwise. You move anti-clockwise and not clockwise. We moved clockwise this way. By moving clockwise, the right part of the mouse, the right part of the cursor becomes the outside surface of the wall, while the left part is the inside. So you can see you have your inside here. So here is the inside. Have your inside. Look left. There's your inside. The left part of the arrow, the left part of the arrow is the inside, and the right part of the arrow is the outside. Here is our outside. Right. Yes. this is wrong. Actually, what we want to have is, we want this paint building bed to be at the outside surface and the inside to be hid. Now you can see why it is wrong to draw your line in the clockwise direction. Previously, we do our wall anti-clockwise, like here. You move this way. Now when you move anti-clockwise, it brings the wall to the actual position you want it to be. Here becomes the outside. Here becomes your outside. Now you have this area as the outside and this area as the inside. What am I saying in essence? Whenever you set your wall, in your wall setting, your wall always has three sides. The outside face surface, the edge surface, and the inside. Now these three sides of the wall have different paint colors. Just like in normal construction, the paint you apply on your building outside is different from the paint you apply inside. Like here we have here as the inside face surface. The paint we have here is sand edge. And the edge, we give the same paint we have for the edge. We give it to the same paint we have for the outer face surface. We give it to the edge surface. In this case, once you have your wall set in this format, it means whenever you want to draw any wall, you have to draw anti-clockwise. Your drawing must go anti-clockwise like this. It must go this way. Your drawing must go anti-clockwise. Each wall must go, and you must move this way. You must move this way. You must move this way. It will be very wrong for you to move this way. The moment you move from right to left, you have a problem. It must always move anti-clockwise. Can you see the movement of the cursor? This is how your mouse must always move. Whenever you are drawing your wall, your mouse must move from left to right, from left to right, from left to right. This will bring the walls at their exact position and their faces at the positions and the side you want it to be. That's taking note. Let's delete these ones. So let's continue. Let's delete these ones and then continue with our designs. I have to set to continuous wall. Now we have to continue with our wall. Move from here to this place. Move this way. Move this way. How we move. You can see the movement of our arrow. Now these are outside wall. Let's check them in our 3D and see what it looks like in our 3D. You can see our foundation wall. You can see our foundation wall. This is our foundation wall. And these are foundation wall. Now that we've had our foundation wall, the next thing to do, every other wall we'll have to install here are internal walls. Now these foundation walls have to do with the areas that touches about the rooms. Now the corridor walls, we have to prepare the corridor walls as well. In that case, we have to go back to this setting and change. We have to go back to our setting and change the height, because the difference, the height difference between both of them must be 150. So we have to change the corridor wall height to 300. Once we type in our 300, click OK. Go back again. Start from this edge. Move this way. Stop. Then you come back to this area as well. Start from here. Move here. Move here. And stop. You can see that. Let's check it again in 3D and see what it looks like. You can see that there is a drop. Now in this design, where you slap here with 150 mm overside concrete and also slap the top of this place with 150 mm overside concrete, the height difference of the overside concrete here from here will be 150 mm. So now what do? We have to install our concrete. We have to install our concrete footing. So we go to our slab. Now when we come to our slab, we go to our slab setting. Now our slab setting is already in complex profile. It has a complex profile. We have to change it to simple profile. We have to click here. Then we have to change the thickness because we are casting oversized concrete of 150 mm. We change it to 150. Having done that, the next thing we have to do is we choose the side page. Now this stands for the top surface. This top surface has to do with what we use to finish our floor. It doesn't matter because we are still going to install our screeding.